Here's some food for thought.
Can it be juice?
Thank you, my lovely artificial audience. It's the show about extracting nutrients from plant matter.
This one's rather bird brain.
Can it be juice?
On Pikmin 2 on the GameCube, Wii, and Nintendo Switch.
After gaining the initial 10,000 Pokos to pay back the debt with his colleagues' help, Olimar is ready to return back to Hakatate, leaving the familiar PNF 404 behind. But to the astronauts' horror, the infamous assistant was gone! Regretfully, he returns home alone, recruiting the president of his company to continue gathering of treasures and to search for his original colleague amongst a wealth of new dangers waiting for him. They had tackled 3 areas after the other before taking on the Wistful Wild, the final area, clearing the road, getting the Doomsday apparatus, entering the Cavern of Chaos, dealing with Bomberox, destroying fiery Bullblacks, some harmless Mamuta, and creeping Chrysanthemum, dealing with lots of water and smaller Emperor Bullblaxes, had a safe floor, killed water creatures like water dumples and wollywogs, I will not call them wollyhops, and electric hazards like anode beetles, some blowhogs, a whole lot of dwarf bulborbs, and Gatling groinks, hate those dang things, more careening dirigibugs, and then a segmented crobster, finishing the Cavern of Chaos. Leading to the Hole of Heroes, the longest cave of the game. There are more enemies, a screwy radar, dead-end doors and exploding spiders, a pileated snakeret and a burrowing one, harmless Mamutas, a whole lot of water, cannon beetles, and a bloister, oh my, Bullmen! Freaking every Bulborbs! Finding more Bullblaxes, the Empress, another rest area, the freaking Man-at-Legs, all the elemental dweevils, and a beady Longlegs. Then finally, some jelly floats, greater spotted and lesser spotted, and the raging Longlegs. After all that, we can go into the final cave, the Dream Den. A throng of beasts awaits Olimar and the president, having little guys all over the place. But all we need is the treasure behind a poisonous pipe, spewing air, protecting the treasure, which we can free with the white Pikmin after an insane gauntlet. And now we can finally collect the disguised delicacy, or the Kiwi! Coming all the way from central and eastern China, where it was once referred to as a Chinese gooseberry back in the 12th century, but didn't get its first name until 1904 after the entry in a nursery catalog that read, edible fruits the size of walnuts and the flavor of ripe gooseberries. It took importing the fruit from China to New Zealand, where the bird, Apteryx mentelli, or the North Island brown kiwi, inspired the name when it was first sold commercially. The Maori language word is generally accepted to be of imitative origin, from the call, a sort of onomatopoeia, if you will. They first were discovered by Polynesian settlers and is the smallest ratite, a bird like ostriches, emus, rheas, cassowaries, and the extinct elephant birds and moas. Their DNA has revealed they are most related to the elephant bird. Unfortunately, ratites, like the kiwi, are flightless. You know, it's quite funny that this bird has become so synonymous with New Zealand, it became the name of the fruit and the people themselves. So the kiwi, like the kiwi, enough to name it a kiwi. Talk about a mouthful. As for the fruit that was popular with British and American servicemen stationed in New Zealand during World War II, it was later exported first to Great Britain, Galler, and then to California in the 1960s. Well, it can be juiced. It's good on its own or paired with other fruits. You don't even need to add any sugar. It's completely optional. This fruit grown on a vigorous, woody, twining vine or climbing shrub doesn't need the skin removed at all, as it contains tons of extra nutrients. So I can actually recommend juicing the whole fruit. If you were wondering, yes, the seeds are edible. As for its Pokemon equivalent, we will need to ask the question,
What did Lawson forget?
Looking this time at what has been dubbed the Wiki Berry. It is a hard berry and has one flavor, dry. Has the feature of when it is held by a Pokemon, will restore 1/8 of its maximum HP when its HP drops to a half or below, but causes confusion to Pokemon that dislike the dry flavor in its debut, specifically adamant, jolly, careful, or impish natures. Then in Gen 7, it restored half of the holder's HP when it drops to a fourth or below. Then in Gen 8, the restored amount was decreased to a third of the holder's HP. Talk about an inconsistent fruit. It's also a great flingberry if you know your opponent's nature.
And it also has the natural gift typing of rock.
But what doesn't make any sense, however, is when it is made into curries, it makes the food sour. The berry is not green, but purple! Also, what is the deal with its lumps? Loxton said that kiwis are high in antioxidants, potassium, and vitamin C, so they help with immunity. And they do have almost twice the amount of vitamin C that oranges do, ounce per ounce. That's a lot to swallow. So let's tackle each bullet point one by one. So considering the Wiki Berry has a hard skin, it would imply it would be unripe.
Rock hard, even.
It's the lime all over again! Those dorks are taking it off the vine before it's at its optimal flavor. Then what's with the dry taste? Dry has written to mean lacking sugar or having an underabundance of simple carbohydrates that can be converted to sugar by enzymes in the mouth. As for how the curry would taste sour instead of dry, could be either a development error by Game Freak, logically be fault of poor digestion like having GERD, or the side effect from medication, or the food itself lost its dose of zinc, which it has 0.252 milligrams of normally in 1 cup. The main issue arises when we look at its color. If it has hard skin, it wouldn't be purple, because a purple kiwi does exist. I give you Actinidia melandra, or the purple or red kiwi. There's also the Actinidia purpurea. When a purple kiwi is unripe, it's light green, so already the fruit doesn't make sense. As for the bumps, there's no kiwis that have that kind of skin, but some cucumbers do, and environmental stressors such as inconsistent watering or temperature fluctuations cause bumps to form on the skin. Oh, and kiwis are actual berries, having relatives in that particular family. It has choline, lutein, and zeaxanthin that help remove free radicals from the body. Choline is a nutrient
Similar to B vitamins.
that can be made in the liver and be converted into a neurotransmitter which helps muscles to contract, activates pain responses, and plays a role in brain function. Lutein and zeaxanthin are both beta-carotenes. Remember mangosteens and sushi? However, lutein is the eye vitamin that helps treat macular degeneration, and zeaxanthin is the eye shield, protecting the eye tissues from sunlight damage. Its vitamin C content, however, is quite apparent, as kiwi has 106% more vitamin C than orange. Kiwi has 9.2 milligrams of vitamin C per 100 grams, and an orange has 45 milligrams of vitamin C. Kiwi is also an excellent source of potassium, and it has 85% more potassium than an orange. The kiwi has 312 milligrams of potassium per 100 grams, and an orange has 169 milligrams of potassium. Kiwi has more protein, less sugar, more dietary fiber, where it has more carbs, more fat, less thiamine, less riboflavin, less niacin, and less calcium.
At least kiwi has more iron.
And now, let's see how that fruit really ticks.
What we have here is a kiwi. It is fuzzy from trichomes, which is inspired of its growth by phytohormones. The kiwi's trichomes are non-glandular, which means they protect from stress. Biotic and abiotic, we address the calyx of a kiwi blossom sepals on the top. Receptacles is what is left with giving stems a chop. The center columella is an outgrowth that goes through. The locule has the seeds, and there's the stigmas too. There's also a vascular bundle, overall boundary, lateral placental. They're used for reproduction. They transfer water to the rhizome, produce more xylem flow. We hope you liked this form of adoption.
The kiwi is actually a superfood because it is capable of repairing our DNA. There are plenty of fruit that help prevent cancer, but it's kiwis that are an example of one that regenerates the body after it. Yes, the kiwi is the real deal.
Unfortunately, there are an array of pretenders who get the moniker of superfood as easily as today's award show winners. As with food, it's not a matter of whether they are good or bad, but if they are nutritious or less nutritious. For the fuzzy kiwi, or Actinidia deliciosa, aka the fruit from both Pikmin 2 and 3, was part of Chinese medicine. It could even help get rid of my cold. It not only helps to get rid of a cold or flu, but is essential to preventing it in the first place because of its vitamins C and E. It's also used to aid digestion, reduces irritability, lowers bouts of constipation because of actinidin, improves the quality of sleep and its duration, and is a powerful ally against bad cholesterol. Heck, even its skin has benefits, as it has folate, vitamin E, and of course fiber. It also increases the amount of nutrients you get when you consume the whole fruit. What's the most interesting is that the majority of its antioxidants are in the skin itself. However, the kiwi's outer covering contains a trace amount of calcium oxalate crystals, like the taro root, so you will need to be aware of that. But even if food as medicine is the future of tackling poor health, there are still side effects. Kiwi has its fair share, where we have to address the near 2% of people who are allergic across the grand populace, having reactions such as trouble swallowing, dysphagia, vomiting, and hives. There are also long-term effects from consuming the fruit, such as acute pancreatitis, and disorders of the skin, like dermatitis and anaphylaxis, and oral allergy syndrome. Eating too much kiwi has adverse effects to specific medications, such as negative interactions with antifungal, anti-inflammatory, heparin, and antiplatelet medications. Regardless of what camp you fall, can have kiwis or can have kiwis, this bird brain fruit is no short of a medical marvel. If you like what you see, press like, subscribe, and smash that bell to get notifications on the channel where everything grows on you.